So it's another book birthday, and this is a special one. So it's 8 years ago today that Cherry Picking first went live, first hit the shelf. I picked it because it's my wife's birthday, and we were just moved to Estonia. I'd written it, I'd started it even before we lived in Russia. Edited it and changed it through the 4 years we spent there, and then just 3 months after arriving here, it was ready to go. Well, I say it was ready, but it wasn't really. But this is the latest version. I'll come back to this in a moment. So this is actually the third cover, and as I'm wanted to do now on these book birthdays, these publication days, these anniversaries, I want to talk a little bit about each book and kind of, get it in forefront, and also know that this book from tomorrow, I've just set it up, so it wouldn't allow me to do from the Saturday itself. But from Sunday for a week, the ebook for this is going to be 99p or 99 cents, depending on where you're purchasing it, for a week. So if you haven't read Cherry Picking, so many of my readers who have come through me and read all my books, this is where they started with me. When I only had one book, when I hadn't even got to the stage of the quality of writing I do now, they loved it. They loved the story, even if some of my early reviews were for it wasn't quite edited and all that, which I made the mistake of early authors. But anyway, so this is the video we're talking about today. I'm back on my happy place you can watch on the YouTube about the garden, but for the moment it's all about the book. So come to the a bit about the story in a moment. But obviously this is the third cover. So 8 years ago it looked like this, which for me at the time, to be honest, I didn't see any issue with this cover. I was just thrilled to have one. It was some dear friends who were in St. Petersburg, or they still are, but we'd moved on, and he'd put this thing together. And he didn't know the story, so I'd kind of give him some outlines. If you do know the story, it there's some resemblance, it's a web, but this mysterious businessman. Spider doesn't really make much sense, of course, apart from the web. But the web is for other reasons. Why gamble when you can cherry pick? Obviously, Nigel Gamble is his main character. That I've taken that phrase off the new one, just because I think there's one person who once commented about it. It's it should be a capital letter, of course, because it's a name. It's a capital letter, but you don't necessarily know that. And yeah, didn't have anything on the back. Had that on the side. So that was it. And the insides weren't my super lush vellum, but just kind of what they are. So the reality is, I used to do the star dashes, now that's all changed, but yeah, the story was still there, and people, regardless of the cover that could be better, and the insides at the time. So this if you've got one of these early editions with this cover, first published in 2012. I'm not sure I even got the date on it. Oh yeah, well, copyright 2011 actually, but it was put together. So one of the early copies, it came out early 2012, or June 27th, 2012. If you've got this copy, do give me a thumbs up, give me a comment. It's fantastic. There are copies of this available. I'm not sure how much they're worth, but they must be in the thousands by now. I say jokingly. Anyway, so that remained for a bit until I'm not quite sure. So then this one came out. Let's have a look. It's the second edition. So 2014. So yeah, 3 years later. Most commonly known as this one. Possibly some of the. Well, no, I think my earliest promotion was done with this cover, and then it was this one. So and by this point we've got the blurb on the back, some reviews. This is a funny one. For some reason on the A, that was actually accidental. I don't quite know what happened on the design. I was not the designer on this one, but actually it's quite a unique thing. So if you've got one of these editions, that's worth even more money. So let me know. Yeah, you're probably talking tens of thousands there. I still say in jest. But and it still didn't have the very lush insides, but obviously the story's all there. And then we bring up to date, so the latest edition. So this cover actually was live earlier this year, and the blurb, which I'll come to now, set out a little bit better, telling the story better. So this is the story of cherry picking. Just 2 of the quotes on the page. So exciting, action-packed thriller. So Nigel Gamble is a man with everything, including a dark past, wealth. He took his name from his early business successes, but in reality, none of it was based on risk. Only certain success. Every decision Nigel has ever made in business, people, sport, or life has been based on some prior knowledge, power. When a stranger appears, it shakes his rich world to the core, but Nigel has been waiting for him and preparing. Fear. Now it's a fight to the death. There can be only one winner. And there's a final quote, which is actually, this was a very early quote from someone in America, which I loved. So suspenseful that I actually missed my stop on the train. True story, yeah. This is a female, worked, I think, in... Well, no, maybe she was working in London at the time. She's American, but working in London. And yeah, so missed a stop. It's reading my book. So, which is what you want to do with a good book. You don't necessarily want to always miss your stop. So, and this is a cover that I have worked on. Obviously, it's now got the publisher logo. The colouring goes right round, and particularly if you know the story, this really fits with one of the final scenes. So it's a brilliant cover. I hope you like it. I'm thrilled with it. This is the paperback edition, so it's available in normal paperback with the beautiful insides. When you get these little lovely dividers, no longer the stars. This is my thickest book, and the chapter headers look just a bit different. You got all this, so and it's also in large print. So all my books are in large print. If you have elderly relatives who wanna read my books and struggle with fine print, small print, not that it's normal print's not super small, but the large print version is just that much bigger and more comfortable in the eye. So those are available as well. So they're available on Amazon. So this is a book. So if you've got this copy, this is priceless at the moment. So treasure it. And do let me know. And if you start reading based on this video, based on seeing some stuff, that's even more exciting. And do let me know for that. It is a great story. So like I say, I'll encourage. Let's see if they happen. So if you read any of my books, or read any versions of cherry picking, and that's where you started your journey with me, do comment so that people know who are watching this. That's because what is true, this is a debut novel, so it's where my journey started. I've written 16 more novels since this. Well, the 16 are published. I've got another 3. Where are we up to? Another 3, that are written and yet to come out. So I've written 19 novels. I've improved exponentially as a storyteller, with quality, with depth of story. So but actually there was all the essence of my ability and talents were already on display here. Even if the way I unwrapped the story might for some might have been slow at times, or my book started a lot quicker, but definitely if you look at all the brilliant reviews, they are for people that persisted with this one, that saw by I think it's chapter 15, 16 where I kind of reveal the premise, and then they get it and it takes them onto another level. So if you're looking for a really interesting summer read, I can recommend Cherry Picking. It's turned 8 today, 8 years old since it first came out. Quite a journey for me as an author, to have so many more books since, but still one that would be a great film one day, and who knows, maybe we'll see it on the big screen at some point. So let me encourage you to get this book. And do comment if you've had any of the previous versions, but I'm loving the recent one. I don't plan on changing this cover anytime soon. And of course it's got my little title there, international bestseller in thriller chart. So this is a thriller chart, a #1 internationally. So a proper chart. So some little success, and nice to put that on. And I took off the little phrase just so that. Yeah, that's right. In the second version, I did a lowercase Gamble just because it had that question mark. People were like, "Well, why is it capital? Is that a mistake?" But yeah, it's gone all together now. So those confusing things are gone. So hope that's given you a little flavour for the book. Do look it up. Do read it. and do let me know what you think. Bye.